Hi, my name is Roddy Terrell. I'm a graduate student at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, and today we're going to talk about how to practice difficult passages. Now, my undergraduate professor would always say, too fast, too much. Now, what that means is don't take a passage too fast and don't take too much of it. So that's going to be the focus of this video. We're going to work on a difficult passage, but we're going to break it up. We're going to do something called grooving and grouping. Now, grouping is whenever you break up a passage into smaller parts. I always recommend 4 plus 1, so 5 notes. So if you have a segment of 16th notes, you'll do the first 4 plus 1. That way you will always you start and end on the beat. We're going to use the Rose Studies, number 1 out of the 40. We're going to start with measure 3 and 4, and we're just going to break that up. So the first thing you want to do is you want to look at the tempo. So for this piece, it's quarter note equals 76, so we're going to put our metronome quarter note equals 76, and then we're going to try to play it at that tempo. Now, if you've never played this before, I would recommend slowing it down to a more manageable tempo. So we're going to not cut it in half, but we're going to put it at about 50, and we're going to try it here. Our goal with this is to make sure that the notes are even and that we are playing in the appropriate style of the piece. Now, in order to practice this, you would want to break it down. So we'll take 4 plus 1. We're going to look at the first part of measure 3, starting with the A. We're going to do 4 plus 1. Then we're going to take the next 4 plus 1. Next 4. And the next 4. That takes care of all of measure 3. Now, when you're working on it, you want to start at a slower tempo than what's printed and move it up gradually. So we had it at 50. I'm going to move it up 2 clicks to 54, and we're going to play the same 4 plus 1 pattern. Add 2 of the 4 plus 1 together. So essentially we're going to be playing the first 2 beats of this measure plus the downbeat of beat 3. Then we're going to do the same thing for the latter half of the measure. Now we're going to put it all together. Alright, now that we have all of the notes for the measure, we're going to bump up the tempo again. So I'm going to bump it up to 60. Now the goal here is to bump up the tempo until you can't play it successfully anymore. So right now we're at 60. I played it pretty well. We've already broken it up, we've grouped it, and now this part is called grooving. So I'm going to bump it up again to 66. Now say that this was the fastest that I could go. So say I mess up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop, I'm going to look at my metronome, and I'm going to bump it down 1 click, and whatever that tempo is was the last successful tempo that I performed it at, so it would be 63. So in my music, I would take my pencil and I would write 63 right above that measure. Now the reason we do that is because it gives you an idea of where you've been, so that when you come back to it the next day to practice it, you can start there. Start at 63 and start grouping and grooving again. Thank you for watching. This has been Practicing Difficult Passages, and I hope you use this and play all the music.